He's never fought us. Not us united.
Oh! I can so see that. That's it. Welcome to Comics League Indie Wednesday. I'm your host, Jared, and I've got a very interesting book for you all today. Void Rivals #1. Now, what's important to understand about this book, and it's the reason why I titled it in a certain way. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you something. All right. So, this book is written by Robert Kirkman of Invincible fame, and it's published by his studio Skybound. Now, I'm going to go through the plot of this book, and I want you to understand why this is freaking awesome. All right. So we have a spaceship crash. Two ships on opposing sides of an intergalactic war crash land, and they have to cooperate to survive. So you got me there. You really got me there. Because I love when you have like two opposing sides that are taught to hate each other, but they have to work together for survival. All right. So, of course, they fight at first. And they decide, yeah, okay, you know what? Let's just get off this planet. Then we'll deal with our little problem. So they start walking. So, well, actually, first they try and fix one of the destroyed ships. It doesn't work. So they start walking. And they find this crash shuttle. All right, this is really important. This is the best reveal I've ever seen in a comic book. So they approach the ship. They're like, it must be millions of years old. And they hook it up to a power battery, activate it. Then the ship transforms into the Autobot Jetfire. Okay, so at this point, I'm freaking out. Because they just put in the Transformers. And again, Jetfire is like, I must have just gotten activated. I've been offline for millions of years. Cybertron. And then he takes off and flies home to Cybertron. And then eventually, our two characters, they take off their helmets and discover that, no, they're taught to hate each other, but they're the same people. And I love how Tyler Kirkman ends this. He's like, I think he goes, okay, Secret Sound Void Rivals takes place in the new Energon universe. And for what that is, Robert Kirkman is writing a book. And actually, what's interesting is that, so for those who don't know, for the longest time, I think it was Boom Studio was writing Transformers, one of the indie companies. They were doing the Transformers books, but they lost the license. So apparently Skybound, Tyler Kirkman's company, grabbed it and then combined it with the G.I. Joe license he also got. So now we're getting, so Void Rivals takes place in the shared G.I. Joe Transformers universe. So it's going to be Transformers #1, Duke #1, and Cobra Commander #1. And I am so going to pick these up because it's Transformers. And by Daniel Warren Johnson, he's doing the G1 designs, which I'm so glad G1 is back. It's just the big reveal that this is a Transformers crossover is incredible. Like, if there was ever a way to reveal, because as far as I know, previous to this issue, it wasn't announced. In other words, this comic book. This is how they announced that they got the Transformers license, that they're forming a new shared universe. Can you believe that? And it doesn't even have to be that long. Jetfire does not have to be another character in the book. He just transforms, so you know he's a Transformer. Then he transforms back and flies away. That's it. But I was flabbergasted in a good way when I discovered this, because it's like, in the most unlikely book, because you would think it's just another Tyler Kirkman sci-fi story. But then it's like, no, we're bringing in the Autobots and Decepticons, and I cannot wait to discuss more Void Rivals and the new Transformers cinematic comic book universe, which actually works because that way they can keep it synergistic with the movies. Because for those of you that don't know, in Rise of the Beast, they hinted at a Transformers G.I. Joe crossover, which I think is the best decision they could make. That's just me. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys think of it. But that's Void Rivals. It's basically a sci-fi survival series that has a hell of a reveal. And I need to say, well done, Tyler Kirkman or Robert Kirkman. There's so many Kirkmans. But this is why a lot of comic book creatives have shaken my trust recently. But Robert Kirkman has my trust. Because first off, love Invincible. Shout out to Ryan Otley for signing my book. And I'm a fan of The Walking Dead. So I know this dude is a competent writer. And just the way he reveals it, too, is, like, incredible. It's one of the biggest, like, what the heck reviews ever. And obviously the art by Felici and Lopez is fantastic. It's a solid sci-fi story. I cannot wait to pick up more of the series. And when it comes out, I will 100%. I will be adding Transformers, Duke, and Cobra Commander to my pull list and reviewing them every month. It's going to be so much fun. So that's going to end it for Indie Wednesday. I know I said that this was going to be an amalgam issue. It's just I just got this from my LCS and I was so excited for it. I wanted to bring it up. I know it's kind of old news, but hey, I'm catching up. So that's Void Rivals. Drop down in the comments what you think of the Transformers shared universe, where you think this could go. And actually, as a fun thought experiment, drop in the comments what other properties you would want the Transformers to cross over. Can be anything. Marvel, DC, Walking Dead would actually be really cool. Fast and the Furious, whatever to your heart's content. And I will see you in the next indie book, which will either be an amalgam book or another one of these single indie issue books I have so far, because I got plenty. But let me know which you guys prefer, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.